I grew up in Hong Kong, and in 2002 I was diagnosed with cancer, which progressed over the years, and I had end-stage cancer. It was lymphoma. By 2006, my organs had shut down, and I had open skin lesions, and I was on oxygen. I was wheelchair-ridden, and I went into a coma. And at that point, the doctors thought I was in my final hours. My family, of course, were around me, and they were waiting for me to take my final breath. But during that time, I was actually aware of everything that was happening around me. I went into what I've now understood to be called an NDE, a near-death experience, where I understood the reason for my cancer. I came out of the coma, and my cancer healed very, very rapidly. Prior to my near-death experience and my cancer, I used to be very fearful. I was also very much a people pleaser. I used to be fearful of what other people thought of me, and I always felt the need to prove myself. I always felt I had to work hard at being lovable enough, at being spiritual enough. And I also used to fear everything in the environment. I used to fear certain foods, and I used to fear about not being healthy enough. And life was actually a struggle. After my NDE, I've learned that we are all magnificent beings, and we are all spiritual whether we realize it or not. We don't have to work so hard at being happy. I find it so much easier to take life easy and to have fun. Life has been a lot more fun since my NDE. The central message of my book is about being yourself and learning to love yourself. That's the most important thing. The more that we can learn to love ourselves, the more love that we have to share with other people. In my book, I talk about the magnificence of who we are and the magnificence of our souls. As we learn that all the answers are contained within us, we can learn to value ourselves more, and in valuing ourselves, we learn to see the value in others. The most exciting thing that happened out of all of this was when Wayne Dyer discovered my story. Somebody had printed my story off the internet and passed it on to him. And when he started reading it, he couldn't put it down. So he alerted his publishers and told them to track me down. And he told his publishers to tell me that I should write a book, and when I do, they would publish it. And when I got the email from his publishers, I was really thrilled. And believe it or not, the email landed in my inbox on my birthday. My hope for the future is to help people to relieve them from their fears. We have come to fear pathologically. We fear everything. And I would love to help relieve people of their fears, particularly their fears around illness. I would love to help people who have cancer to relieve their fears, the fears that caused them the cancer. I would also love it if my book could touch people in the medical field to start looking at cancer differently.